Top 5 fish to avoid as a diabetic. Think you're making a healthy choice with fish? Think again. Some of the most popular fish could be doing more harm than good, especially for people with diabetes. It's like picking the wrong friends at a party. They might look good at first, but they can cause trouble later. In today's video, we're revealing 5 common fish that diabetics should avoid, and trust me, you'll be shocked. But don't worry, we'll also give you healthier options to keep your meals tasty and diabetes-friendly. Stick around until the end, and I'll reveal a bonus, a popular seafood that many love to eat, but is actually harmful to your diabetes health. Hit that like button and subscribe for more health tips. You don't want to miss these must-know tips. 1. Swordfish. It's often featured on the menu at upscale restaurants, praised for its firm texture and delicate, mild flavor. Known for being the kind of dish you order when you're feeling fancy or celebrating something special, swordfish can appear as a healthy, elegant choice. Its rich, meaty texture makes it perfect for grilling, and the flavor is subtle yet satisfying, with a slight sweetness that many people love. No wonder it's a favorite in many fine dining establishments. But behind its refined taste and sophisticated reputation, there's a hidden danger, especially for people managing diabetes. One of the biggest concerns with swordfish is its high mercury content. You see, swordfish is a large predatory fish, and larger fish tend to accumulate more mercury than smaller ones. Mercury is a heavy metal that enters the oceans from pollution and builds up in marine life. Swordfish, being high up the food chain, absorbs this mercury through its diet, particularly from consuming smaller fish that have already ingested mercury. For most people, the occasional exposure to mercury might not seem like an immediate concern. However, for individuals with diabetes, this can be problematic for several reasons. Mercury exposure is linked to cognitive decline, nerve damage, and kidney problems, all of which are already risk factors for individuals with diabetes. Research published in the Journal of Diabetes Research has found that environmental toxins like mercury can significantly worsen the complications of diabetes by affecting insulin sensitivity and kidney function. In fact, prolonged mercury exposure has been shown to increase the risk of neurological issues and cardiovascular diseases, both of which are already more prevalent in diabetics. So while swordfish might seem like a tasty treat, it comes with baggage that can complicate diabetes management. The last thing you want is to introduce something that could make managing your blood sugar even harder, right? Swordfish is also known for its high fat content. Now, before you stop me and say, wait, aren't some fats good for you? Let's break it down. Swordfish contains a mix of fats, but a significant portion of them are saturated fats. While the fish's rich texture and flavor are often attributed to these fats, they come with a downside. For people with diabetes, maintaining stable blood sugar levels is essential. Consuming foods high in saturated fats can interfere with that stability. High-fat meals, particularly those rich in unhealthy fats, can delay stomach emptying and make it harder for insulin to do its job, which can lead to increased blood sugar levels after meals. Moreover, consuming too much saturated fat can worsen insulin resistance, which is already a challenge for diabetics. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that a diet high in saturated fats is linked to increased insulin resistance and difficulty managing blood glucose levels. So, while swordfish might provide a decadent, satisfying meal, the fat content can complicate efforts to keep blood sugar under control, especially if it becomes a regular part of your diet. 2. Tilapia. Tilapia is one of the most widely consumed fish in the world, prized for its mild flavor, affordability, and versatility. It's often marketed as a healthy, low-calorie protein source, making it a popular choice for those looking to maintain a balanced diet. However, for individuals managing diabetes, tilapia may not be the wholesome option it appears to be. Beneath its seemingly benign exterior lies a host of potential dangers, particularly due to its omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acid ratio and the presence of harmful compounds that can exacerbate diabetes-related complications. One of the most significant concerns with tilapia is its high omega-6 fatty acid content. While omega-6 fatty acids are essential for health, they must be balanced with omega-3 fatty acids to maintain optimal bodily functions. Tilapia, however, has an exceptionally poor omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, often as high as 11 to 1 in farm-raised varieties. For comparison, a healthy ratio is closer to 1:1 or 2:1. For diabetics, this imbalance is particularly problematic. Excessive omega-6 intake promotes inflammation, a key driver of insulin resistance and diabetes progression. Chronic inflammation can worsen complications such as cardiovascular disease, neuropathy, nerve damage, and nephropathy, kidney disease, all of which are already heightened risks for diabetics. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism highlights that diets high in omega-6 fatty acids are associated with increased inflammation and a higher risk of metabolic disorders, including type 2 diabetes. The primary omega-6 fatty acid in tilapia is arachidonic acid, a compound that plays a role in the body's inflammatory response. While arachidonic acid is necessary in small amounts, excessive levels can lead to the overproduction of pro-inflammatory molecules called eicosanoids. These molecules contribute to systemic inflammation, which can impair insulin signaling and worsen blood sugar control. For diabetics, whose bodies are already struggling with inflammation and insulin resistance, consuming tilapia can further aggravate these issues. Much of the tilapia available in markets is farm-raised, often in overcrowded and unsanitary conditions. These environments can lead to the accumulation of harmful compounds in the fish, including dioxins, pesticides, and antibiotics. Dioxins in particular are toxic chemicals that can disrupt endocrine function and impair glucose metabolism. For diabetics, exposure to these compounds can exacerbate insulin resistance and increase the risk of long-term complications. Farm-raised tilapia is often fed a diet of corn and soy, which further skews its fatty acid profile toward omega-6 dominance. This artificial diet not only reduces the nutritional quality of the fish, but also increases its potential to contribute to inflammation and metabolic dysfunction. Additionally, farmed tilapia may also carry higher levels of contaminants like polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, and dioxins, substances linked to cancer and other serious health issues. Studies show that long-term exposure to these pollutants can contribute to systemic inflammation, which, as discussed, can exacerbate diabetes and its complications. 3. Tuna. Tuna fish is often touted as a healthy, protein-rich food, celebrated for its convenience, versatility, and high levels of omega-3 fatty acids. For many, it's a staple in salads, sandwiches, and sushi. However, for individuals managing diabetes, tuna poses significant risks that often go unnoticed. While it may seem like a nutritious choice, the hidden dangers of tuna, particularly its mercury content and potential impact on blood sugar regulation, make it a less than ideal option for diabetics. One of the most concerning aspects of tuna is its high mercury content. Mercury is a toxic heavy metal that accumulates in the tissues of large predatory fish like tuna. This happens because tuna, being higher up in the food chain, consumes smaller fish that have already absorbed mercury from polluted waters. Over time, this leads to a dangerous concentration of mercury in their flesh. For diabetics, mercury exposure is particularly harmful. Mercury is a potent neurotoxin that can impair kidney function, damage the nervous system, and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, all of which are already heightened concerns for people with diabetes. A study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that mercury can disrupt glucose metabolism, leading to elevated blood sugar levels and increased insulin resistance. This is especially problematic for diabetics, who already struggle with maintaining stable blood sugar levels. Additionally, mercury-induced inflammation can exacerbate diabetes-related complications such as neuropathy, nerve damage, and nephropathy, kidney disease. Another often overlooked danger of tuna, especially canned varieties, is its high sodium content. Many canned tuna products are packed in brine or oil, which can contain excessive amounts of salt. High sodium intake is linked to increased blood pressure, a common comorbidity in diabetics. Elevated blood pressure can further strain the cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke, conditions that diabetics are already more prone to. Tuna is also calorie-dense, particularly when consumed in larger portions or prepared with added oils or mayonnaise. For diabetics, managing weight is crucial, as excess body fat can worsen insulin resistance and make blood sugar control more difficult. Overconsumption of calorie-rich tuna dishes can contribute to weight gain, further complicating diabetes management. 4. King mackerel. Mackerel is often hailed as a superfood, particularly for its rich content of omega-3 fatty acids. These omega-3s are well known for their heart health benefits, including reducing inflammation and improving cholesterol levels. As a fatty fish, mackerel is widely recognized for its strong, bold flavor, which can stand up well to various seasonings and cooking methods. It's a favorite in many diets, especially those focused on improving cardiovascular health. But what might seem like a healthy fish to many isn't always the best choice, particularly for diabetics. While mackerel offers plenty of nutritional benefits, including omega-3s, there are important considerations that make it less ideal for people managing diabetes. Mackerel, like many larger fish, often contains higher levels of mercury. This is due to its habitat in oceans and waters that can be contaminated with pollutants, including industrial runoff and heavy metals. As a predator, mackerel consumes smaller fish that have already absorbed mercury, resulting in a higher concentration of this toxic substance in their flesh. This accumulation is particularly concerning for people with diabetes. A study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that mercury exposure can significantly affect glucose metabolism, potentially leading to higher blood sugar levels and insulin resistance. Additionally, mercury toxicity is linked to increased inflammation, a major risk factor in diabetes. Chronic inflammation can worsen complications such as cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, and nerve damage, all of which are already heightened for individuals living with diabetes. Therefore, the presence of mercury in mackerel can further complicate diabetes management and increase the risk of long-term complications. Despite being praised for its omega-3 content, mackerel is a very oily fish. While omega-3s are beneficial fats that can help reduce inflammation and improve heart health, the overall fat content in mackerel can be quite high. A single serving of mackerel can contain up to 20 grams of fat, much of which is healthy fat in the form of omega-3s, but it's still a considerable amount of fat. For diabetics, this high fat content can present challenges when it comes to managing weight and maintaining stable blood sugar levels. Excessive fat intake, particularly when not balanced by a healthy diet rich in fiber, lean proteins, and vegetables, can lead to weight gain. Managing a healthy weight is crucial for diabetes control because carrying extra weight can worsen insulin resistance, making it more difficult for the body to regulate blood sugar effectively. 5. Eel fish. Eating eel might not be as common as other types of fish, but it's still making its way into popular dishes like sushi, smoked fish platters, and various Japanese meals. With its long, snake-like appearance, eel is often seen as a delicacy, packed with nutrients like protein, vitamin A, vitamin B12, and vitamin D, nutrients that are crucial for diabetics. But before you get too excited, there's a catch. Despite its nutritional benefits, eel has earned a reputation for being a fish you should think twice about, especially if you're managing diabetes. The Seafood Watch Foundation recommends steering clear of it due to sustainability concerns. Eels are not farmed in sustainable ways, and they have a nasty habit of absorbing harmful chemicals and contaminants, like polychlorinated biphenyl, PCB. Now you might be wondering, what's the big deal with PCBs? Well, these chemicals have been linked to increased glycemia, high blood sugar, and a greater risk of diabetes. In fact, an Italian study involving 527 pre-diabetic participants found that higher concentrations of PCBs in the body increased the risk of developing diabetes. So, while eel might seem like a healthy option, it could be silently contributing to your blood sugar woes. But that's not all. If you're thinking about eating raw eel, there's even more to be concerned about. Uncooked eel contains toxins that can be downright poisonous to humans, definitely not the kind of side dish you want to accompany your sushi. So if you're a fan of Asian and Japanese dishes, it's a good idea to watch out for eel. It's often unregulated, and its potential health risks might outweigh any benefits. In fact, rather than supporting your health, eating eel could end up having a negative impact on your diabetes. For a safer bet, stick to other fish options that are sustainably farmed and free of these hidden dangers. Trust me, your blood sugar will thank you. Bonus: the popular seafood that many love to eat, but is actually harmful to your diabetes health. Shrimps. Although shrimp are technically crustaceans, they're often considered a type of seafood and are widely consumed, hence the addition to the list. If you're a shrimp lover, you probably enjoy it frequently, whether it's during the holidays or when dining out at a restaurant. However, shrimp come with several downsides, especially for diabetics. Shrimp is surprisingly high in dietary cholesterol, with a 3-ounce serving containing about 180 milligrams, nearly 60% of the daily recommended limit. While dietary cholesterol doesn't affect everyone's blood cholesterol levels equally, it can still pose risks for diabetics. People with diabetes are already at higher risk for cardiovascular disease due to factors like insulin resistance, inflammation, and dyslipidemia, abnormal cholesterol levels. Consuming high cholesterol foods like shrimp can exacerbate these issues by increasing LDL, bad cholesterol levels, which contributes to plaque buildup in arteries and raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Shrimp contains a compound called arachidonic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid that can promote inflammation when consumed in excess. While omega-6s are essential in small amounts, an imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids can lead to chronic inflammation. Shrimp, especially farmed varieties, can contain harmful contaminants such as antibiotics, pesticides, and heavy metals like mercury and cadmium. These substances are often used in shrimp farming to prevent disease and promote growth in overcrowded conditions. Exposure to these contaminants can impair kidney function, increase oxidative stress, and worsen insulin resistance. For diabetics, whose kidneys and metabolic systems are already under strain, these toxins can accelerate complications such as nephropathy, kidney disease, and neuropathy. So what options do you have if you can't eat all the above? Wild-caught salmon, sardines, anchovies, trout are better options. To find out more about them for diabetes, we have a video that explains them in detail. Check out the link in the description. There you have it, 5 fish that are not healthy for your diabetes. Avoid this fish and your health will thank you for it. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share so that other people living with diabetes might gain from this video. See you in our next video. Thanks for watching.